Hey, what's up, everybody? So today I want to talk about the YouTube advertiser boycott and why I believe that it will not last forever, and I feel that it's going to end sooner rather than later. And the reason that I say this is because if you look at YouTube or if you look at Google, they are, excuse me, a very dominant company when it comes to digital media. And I was reading an article that I'll put in the description below that said that if you were to combine Facebook and Google together, that those two companies are basically a duopoly that represent about 65% of the advertising that is spent on like digital media. And last year, Facebook and YouTube received 99% of all the growth or advertising growth that was spent on digital media. So let's see, like Google, they make up about 54% of the total growth in digital advertising, and Facebook about 45% of digital advertising. So these companies, they're not going to stay gone forever. And I also read another article that said that the reason they're doing this is because they want to get a discount when it comes to the ads that or the ads that they're spending on these platforms, or more specifically YouTube, when it comes to all the recent controversy. And I'm telling you guys, like, a lot of people are saying that YouTube's going to be done, it's going to be over. Like, YouTube to me will eventually replace like regular cable television, because if you look at how many hours are spent on YouTube per day, it's about, like, last year they said like mid to late last year, YouTube daily average, like, hours, or not average hours, but their total hours viewed per day was 1 billion. And according to the Nielsen company, which those are the people that go around and give you guys, like, give people the boxes to see what people are watching, the total amount of hours that people spend watching like regular cable television is 1.25 billion. And YouTube's growth is like this, and cable TV's growth is like this. And that's why you see a lot of these old media forums and companies, such as like the Washington Post, who started all this debacle, want to slander YouTube because they're eventually going to replace them. It's like the people who, like, with the pay phones or whatever, they're upset that people now have cell phones. Or the people that brought cars into play, they probably got the people that were like the horse and buggy people upset because they replaced them. And it is what it is. Digital media is going to be the dominant form of media in the future, and then I believe it already is. And also, another thing I have to take into consideration to why this boycott won't last forever is that these companies are only pulling out YouTube. They're still, most of these companies are still using Google's like AdSense platform, like behind, like, like behind closed doors or whatever. They're not completely like cutting ties with Google. It's just YouTube temporarily. And then the last thing I want to talk about is that when you look at the most coveted demographic that people spend advertising dollars on, which is young adults, YouTube is dominating in that category. If you want to reach children, teenagers, and young adults like myself, you're probably going to want to spend most of your advertising on platforms like YouTube or Facebook, because that's what most people my age watch for their content. The only thing I watch on TV is basketball, and people can find ways to get basketball streams without having to pay for cable. But I'm not even get into that. But so I think that in the coming month or so, you're going to see things sort of like fizzle out and get back to normal. I mean, hopefully speaking, once again, I'm not saying that it's going to happen 100%, but I believe that based on the market share of companies like Google, that these advertisers are not going to be able to just, like, cut ties with like a site like YouTube. And that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comments below, and have a nice day. Peace.